Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to do a 1-year review of my motorcycle. It's a Husqvarna Svartpilen 401 2022. It's been exactly 1 year and I already have more than 13,000 miles. But more importantly, I am getting a new motorcycle. So I wanted to do a 1-year review. So let's go! There's my beautiful daughter, Ashley.
Hello, fans.
All right, let's go. All right, so there's my motorcycle. It's a 2022 Husqvarna Svartpilen 401. So let's turn it on, see how many miles I got. All right. So I got 13,846 miles. That's in 1 year, guys. 1 year on a 400, less than a 400cc motorcycle. I purchased this in May of 2022, right after I passed the MSF course. This is my first bike. You know, I have had no major issues or even minor issues. Just a couple of gripes would be the tank is too small, so I would have to gas up like every 100 miles or so, because I don't go all the way to when it's empty. Let me see if I turn it on. If you see the fuel gauge, so don't go by the fuel range. It's not very good. Just go by these bars. So the last bar, it would come up with the low fuel warning. With the last bar, you can still go like pretty far, like at least 20 miles. When the last bar starts blinking, that's when you need to get gas. But that's, I mean, I've had no major issues. That's basically my only gripe with the bike. Purchase price. So when I purchased it, when I was trying to purchase it, I went to a couple of big dealerships in northern Jersey. I didn't want to go into New York side because I would have to cross the bridge and there's a lot of traffic. And I was kind of afraid because I was a new rider. So I started looking in the New Jersey side, and there were like 2 big dealerships in northern Jersey. And the MSRP was like, I think 5,299. And both of them, they wanted, out the door like over 7. Plus, I'm in New York State, so I would have to pay taxes, and taxes and registration, which should come out to what, 7,500, 600. And I was like, that's ridiculous. So I was actually almost giving up. Then I found a smaller dealership a little bit further north in Jersey. It's called Town and Country. It's in Vernon area where Mountain Creek is. And I called them. The salesperson just gave me a price, which was like at a minimum $1,000 cheaper than the other 2 dealerships. I went in, got it, and took it home. So the purchase price out the door was like $6,000, and then I had to pay. I'm in the New York State, so I have to go to DMV and pay the taxes and registration, and it came out to be like $6,500. Plus, then I had to get insurance. I'm a little older than, other like younger guys who ride motorcycles, so I think I got a pretty good quote. which was about 400 something for full coverage for 1 year. So adding all that together, you know, just to start riding, it probably cost me almost $7,000. Now the purchase price is going to be different for everyone, because right now it's the MSRP, they raised it to $56.99. The 2023 models all like exactly the same as this, and then they're gonna add fees at the dealership. So I'm pretty sure it's gonna be higher than what I paid, but I don't know. I mean, depends on what kind of deal you make. Also, the insurance, you know, is gonna be much different for, you know, depending on your driving record and your age. So just keep that in consideration when you if you're looking to purchase this motorcycle or a motorcycle for the first time. The reason I'm doing the reviews, it's been 1 year and I wanted to do a review anyway. But also one other major reason is because I'm getting a new motorcycle. I already put a deposit down earlier this week. Today's Thursday, and I'm getting it probably next week, or end of this week or early next week. So I put this on Craigslist earlier this week for $4,000. And then if I sell it before I pick up my new motorcycle, I'll just sell it and pay for the new motorcycle. But if I don't sell it, I am going to trade it in. They already gave me a quote. They already looked at the bike, and I'll just pay the difference. Sorry, I had a phone call. So where did I leave off? I think we're talking about my new motorcycle, right? So I'm not going to tell you guys what motorcycle I'm getting, but it's yes, so I'll do a video when I pick up the motorcycle at the dealership. I don't have my action camera. I returned my action camera because it had some focus issues, the DJI Osmo Action 3. So I'm shopping around on the new action camera. So I'm gonna have to take it with my phone. So I'm probably not gonna have a riding video, but at the pickup, I'll try to do a video, like a short video of the motorcycle, and that's when you'll find out what motorcycle I'm getting. But one clue would be, it's a motorcycle manufacturer and model type from the most famous motorcycle scene in movie history, in my opinion. So if you want to guess, comment below, you can guess. Anyway, so this motorcycle, I didn't talk about maintenance. Okay, so this motorcycle, I rode it for 13,800 miles in 1 year, right? So I'm gonna tell you the truth. I have had no issues at all with this motorcycle. Minor gripes. The gas tank only holds 2-point-something gallons. It gets, if I ride conservatively, I get more than 50 miles per gallon. But if you ride aggressively, gas goes away real fast. So every 120 miles, something like that, I would have to, 110, 120 miles, I would have to get gas. It's a pain in the butt. Why do I have so many miles? Well, I rode it everywhere. To the store, to restaurants, when we go out to eat. Instead of riding the car, I'll take the motorcycle separately. But the main reason would be, I think, I did food deliveries on the motorcycle. In order to, um, you know, to upgrade to my next motorcycle, which was planned. This I wasn't going to keep this forever, but I didn't realize, I'm going to have this many miles. That's why I'm not getting a lot of money. I'm not expecting a lot of money if I sell it or trade it in. It is what it is. But I took care of it really well. As you can see, it's clean. It's super clean. As far as maintenance goes, I did my own oil changes every 3,000 miles. And also I did brake pad changes. And the first time, it's kind of hard the first time, but after you do it once, it's pretty easy, especially for someone like me, because I'm not handy at all. But the major services I've done at the dealership. So the break-in service for a new motorcycle, it's absolutely necessary, I think. Not because of it's basically like a glorified oil change. But the thing is, when you pick up a new motorcycle, they're going to set it up. They're going to put all the bolts on, set it up. And you're going to ride for 600-700 miles. And then you want to take it back. And they're going to look over the bike, see everything's working okay. So I think it's very important. So for the break-in service, I think I paid with tax $180. And that's competitive. But if you go to one of the, I did it at the dealership that I purchased the bike from. But if you go to one of the bigger dealerships, I guarantee you it's going to be over 200, 250. Then after the initial break-in service, I did my own, oil changes and things like that. And then I read online that you have to valve clearance is a service that you really need to do on a new motorcycle at a certain time. So for this motorcycle, that's the third service, which is I think 9,000 and 9,500 miles. And I also needed new tires. So I got a quote from one of the bigger dealerships in Northern Jersey, because it's a little bit closer than where I purchased the motorcycle from. So I asked them how much their service was. Just for the service, the guy said $800 plus parts, which would be over $1,000. Then if I get tires, another $500-600, right? Which is kind of ridiculous, don't you think so? So I was expecting about the same from the original dealership that I purchased the bike from. So I called them, and guess what their price was? It was $370 for the service plus parts, which comes out to like $450, $60. And then I get the tires. So it was going to be about $900 to $1,000. So difference of how much? So I highly recommend this dealership for like Husqvarna, KTM. I think they have Kawasaki. It's called Town and Country. It's in Vernon, New Jersey. I highly recommend them for your service and also to purchase your motorcycle. Trust me. But anyway, I got the third service done at the dealership. Now, the quote was for around $900 to $1,000. But the thing is, they also upgraded my chain, so it raised the price to like $1,000, I think $50. But at the time, I did the valve clearance. It has the oil change. They change the spark plugs, I believe. They do the fluids, whatever. And I changed the tires to Dunlop Sport Max tires, which are like standard on Kawasaki motorcycles. And they're street tires. They're not the Pirelli knobby tires. Now the day I picked up the bike after the valve clearance service, because for the valve clearance service you have to leave it there. When I was riding on the highway or on the road, it was so much better. Not to say the Pirelli tires, the knobby ones, are bad, but it was like night and day. Maybe it was part of it was like the chain. I got a better chain, but seriously, on the highway, it was like night and day. So I would recommend, not right away, but when you need to change your tires, maybe get street tires if you're not going to go, off-road, because I never went off-road. So my plan, if I was going to keep this motorcycle, my plan was, I did the valve clearance, right? So, and every time that I need new tires or chains, I'll go do it at the dealership, and at the same time have them look over the bike if I need anything else. That was my plan. But my plans changed, recently, because I wanted to get a bike where I can kind of ride on the street, but also tour. Like I want to go visit my, friends in Virginia. I'm planning on going to Texas with my new motorcycle to visit my cousin, things like that. With this bike, I don't think I can tour. Especially with the gas tank. It's perfect city bike, perfect bike to commute to work, back and forth, but I really took care of it. Whoever gets this bike next will be very happy.